Now, here's something I wasn't expecting to say, possibly ever, but Julian Assange is a free man and he has landed back home in his native Australia. For the past 14, 15 years, Assange has been in a legal battle with US officials who accused him of leaking classified documents, which they say put lives in danger. But after a plea deal, he left his London prison cell behind earlier this week. To discuss this, I'm joined by the co-founder of Wikipedia, Larry Sanger, a man as concerned as I am with all matters relating to freedom and freedom of speech. Larry Sanger, thank you for joining us.
Well, it's good to be back with you.
This is, if there was an iconic figure in terms of the threats that are being brought to bear upon freedom of speech, I think for a lot of people, Julian Assange would be that individual. What do you think we learn from this development now?
Well, I think they didn't want to give Donald Trump a win by Assange being freed under his watch. Over the last 5 years or so, Assange has grown from being basically a just libertarian hero to being really a hero of press freedom and basically freedom from tyranny all around the world. So freeing him was it had to be done, and it was only a question of when, I suppose. The thing that I find really, important about this case is that Assange represents a free press, and a truly free and independent press means proper government surveillance. In other words, we surveil the government, not the other way around. And an independent press in particular is essential. This means one that is not controlled by the very government and intelligence apparatus that Julian Assange exposed. And so really his arrest, his persecution was a strike by the deep state against those who would try to properly oversee it.
Do you think would there be any cause for concern? I mean, obviously we don't know the full nature of the plea deal or whatever was arrived at in order for Julian Assange to get out of Belmarsh. Are there any? Should we be worried about any of that? This idea, will it have discouraged anyone from ever again having the temerity, so to speak, to publish classified documents?
Yeah, that certainly is a concern. But, I actually think there's enough really bold, passionate journalists out there still that this isn't over. I do think, in fact, that there are possibly Julian himself will continue, and others will continue. I think the fact that he had to spend so much time in prison for the crime of journalism, basically, that in itself was the great damage done to press freedom, frankly. The fact that he has gotten out and was sentenced to time served, well, I think that actually that is a qualified win, I would think. But still, I mean, it's a shame that he ended up having any sentence imposed on him at all.
No, Larry Sanger, I'm just short of time this evening, but thank you so much. We will speak again on related matters sometime very soon. Thank you, Larry Sanger. Jasmine, what was your reaction to what's happened here? There's so much being said about Julian Assange, about the case. What was your response to this sudden news?
Well, like Larry, I think there's been a shift of thought, and it's been a political hot potato. Nobody wanted to be the ones to be seen to be against freedom. And I think there's been a massive shift of thought amongst the public worldwide in the last few years. And I'm an example of it, because I remember at first when Assange came out, you know, he was attacked for what he'd done, I thought, oh, this is terrible. He's exposed all sorts of spies and etc. And then gradually I realised, no, what he'd done was exposed what various American presidents had done, the wars, the warmongering, all this wickedness. So I then became somebody who stood with banners outside of the courts.
You've been there and fought the fight.
Yeah, I have.